What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The same weekly podcast that is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got them all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, fill your card up with all their amazing products, whether it be graded or raw. Throw them in the cart. Use discount code FREAKNET, FREAKNET. You'll save 10% on your entire order. Not just at their website, but also their eBay account, and link to that can be found at their homepage at CarterComics.com. As a side note, something I don't think I mentioned too often, make sure you follow them on social media on Facebook because they kind of show you some of the newer release comics as well as some of the sales and stuff. And speaking of sales, free shipping. Speaking of sales, multi-purchase discounting. You buy more than one comic at a time, you get additional 10%. So if you're looking to get something shipped to you absolutely free while saving 20% overall on it, buy CarterComics.com. Get more than one comic in one purchase. Use our discount code FREAKNET. That's all my energy for today. I don't know why. My nose was not running before I started.
Yeah, it's like instantly started the second you hit record.
This is, God, stupid. And you know what? It's my own fault. I knew it was coming. I knew it was happening. And stupid me thought, oh, it's just allergies. It's just what it is. No, it's not. No, it's not. Now I got to work a fucking charity fundraiser tonight and look like dog shit. Isn't that just life, Joe?
Sometimes.
You sit there and, yeah, right? You sit there and you're like, all right, time to, like we were just talking about, that iFit journey thing. You know, you sit there and you're anticipating a change in your life for the better. And then right when you do it and you spend the money and you get invested and you get signed up and you're raring to go, you get sick.
Yep.
You just get fucking sick.
Same
You
thing
get people messaging you saying, "Hey man, no show this week. What am I supposed to listen to?" I'm like, "We're sick."
Sit with your own thoughts.
Yeah, fuck you, DJ.
I know it's horrible.
Yeah, fucking that was Dizzle J. He was like, where's your show at this week? I'm like, we're sick, dude. I wasn't on JFW this week because I didn't feel fucking well. Right. I try not to miss fucking JFW as much as possible. I try not to miss this either. You know, I try my best to get through podcasting as much as possible. It's just if I'm gonna sit there and lose my breath excessively, and keep in mind how I sound right now and how I feel right now is 30 times better than I felt on Monday. Monday was absolute dog shit. It was just bad. At the same time, though, I think I sound a lot cooler when I'm sick than when I'm not.
Oh, yeah. When I'm sick, like right now, I feel like my voice is pretty. I'm a tenor. I'm a natural tenor.
Yeah.
I've got a high pitched voice. I'm not like squeaky, or a kettle or anything, but I'm not a low pitched fella. I'm not a bass.
Tenor what?
Huh?
Tenor what?
Like bass, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano.
It was a joke. TEN space OR.
My bad.
No, you're fine, man. I didn't make that clear.
I liked it.
I know I'm dumb, and asking what a tenor is makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I think I sit between like a tenor and a bassoon, like maybe like a balto or whatever the fuck that thing is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I know my voice. I think sometimes
when I'm sick, I'm like way down here. I'm like
right.
Trey Adkins or something. I don't know. Trace Adkins, whatever his name is.
Yeah, the diet guy.
What? No, the country singer.
Oh, Trace Adkins.
Size too small, won't wear it at all. That's something that kids hits.
You do it all you can to fit in them old jeans. You want? God, I love that dude.
There it is.
Sound fucking.
Now,
dude.
There's a part of me that now that I'm like forcing my voice down there, I kind of wish I just kept it here all the time. On podcasting, that'd be neat.
I wish my voice could sit here because I honestly like. I know a lot of people when I tell people like I hate my voice, like, oh, your voice is fine. Like it just sounds like I have this weird, goofy ass, wispy, fucking like soft spoken voice, and I fucking hate it. I'd rather sound, like the way I sound right now. I wish I sound like this all the time. And maybe it's because maybe I gotta stop being so excited all the time when I talk. Like maybe if I just sat around and just went, "Hey Joe, how you doing?"
Yeah, I'm just bored.
Right. Can we just do the show?
It's like the Valley Girl vocal fry thing, like Aubrey Plaza.
Gotcha. Do me a favor. Can we do the show in low tone voices?
I mean, we can try. I'll definitely forget in about 5 minutes.
No, we'll be fine. Just keep this in mind. I think the way if we talk like this the rest of the show, it'll be a game changer for the world, really.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, soothing tones of this freaking show.
Absolutely.
I feel like so I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
And
dude, me too.
there's
I started watching.
There's that scene where he's helping Sharon, Terry's wife, because she's pregnant, she's about to give birth. They're in the police station, and he's like, "Well, I broke this. I don't have your soothing music CDs, so I'm gonna talk like Barry White."
I love it when every time he has to like impersonate like Raymond Holt or something like that, he does that voice like, "I am Captain Raymond Holt, and now I'm walking.
That's enough.
I'm walking. I am walking. There's a restaurant. Maybe I will try." Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is fucking hilarious. I watched it through up until the second to last season, and then the final season got postponed because of the pandemic. And when it finally came out, I started watching it, and I think I got maybe like 3 or 4 episodes into it, and I don't know what happened, but I never finished it. And I was like, I really should go back and finish it off and see how it ends. And at that time, I was like, I'll just start from the beginning again. Just check it out and everything, which still holds up. It's still funny. I know. I think we may have talked about it when it did come back out. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was one of the guys. I'm sorry if you keep hearing me sniffle. I know it's disgusting. I can't fucking control it. It's one of the few episodes or few shows I know that actually incorporated the pandemic into its storyline. I'm sure there probably were more than I know of, but NCIS and Brooklyn Nine-Nine are the ones I know the absolute most about. NCIS, I thought I heard, and this was obviously again back then, 2021, I think the season came out, where they actually had a character on the show die from COVID. I don't think a lot of people were doing that and everything. And
lots of people were dying of COVID, just not
characters on TV shows.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
No, I get it. No, dude, call me on my shit, man. 100%, 100%. A lot of deaths. It happened. Where's my train of thought going?
Not a lot of shows were having people catch COVID and die.
Yeah, but yeah. So I prefer when shows will incorporate actual events in it. It's weird because I actually I did a live stream last night with the other hosts of JFW outside Dizzle J. Dizzle J, if you're listening to this, praise to you and your son who's in the hospital right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like it could be a lot worse than what it is, but he is in the hospital. I think it's a medicine thing. I don't know. Don't have to get into his personal shit, but pray to you guys are doing okay. He's told me $40 though. So I was on a live stream with Nubby and Pac-Man for the Fourth Mother Box, which if you guys haven't seen on our Facebook page, Fourth Mother Box, officially part of Freakin Studios. So welcome. Look forward to collaborating with you guys and growing together as a community. So we're on the live stream. I think I almost fell asleep just now. We were on the live stream and we were talking about wrestling, and I was explaining to him, like, one of the coolest things I love about wrestling that I think actually benefits the business is incorporating realism into stories and realism into the characters. And I
Oh
actually
yeah.
feel the same way when it comes to TV shows and movies. Incorporate real life into the stories. Like, I get that, a lot of people are doing, like, well, just, and Marvel, I think, really opened that door for people to utilize the alternate universe stuff. It's like, well, that's great, but I prefer to, when I turn on a new season of a TV show that came around in 2021, like, yeah, talk about fucking COVID. If
Yeah,
if
why
you
not?
if you normalize and humanize the events in our lives, then I think it helps people dwell with it better.
Mhm.
Like, if you can't pretend that COVID didn't fucking happen. It's just you just can't do it. The shit
Yeah.
existed. We lived through it, and I guess in a way we currently are still living through it in a way.
Yep.
Our
Yep.
world
Here's
isn't the
here's
same,
looking at you, Biden administration. It
right?
happened. It's a thing that is still happening.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this isn't.
More I mean, we know my political leanings, generally speaking, but
Mhm.
and I didn't want to get into politics, but I'm like cranky about it this morning. But like more people have died from COVID under the Biden administration because they decided to move on and pretend it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And it just pisses me off. But I digress.
No, and you're right. It's like you can't sit there and act like it didn't exist. You could do the best you can, and live your life, as normal as possible. I know down by me, where I live, it's easier to go back to, because I think, when did COVID become not mainstream known, but it started to be mentioned? It was 2018, right? Like towards the end of 2018, it was starting to be mentioned a little
Well,
bit.
2019, I'd say October, November 2019 was when
Okay.
it was starting to spread in China. The official, like the 2 weeks of lockdown, I
Yeah.
put big air quotes on lockdown,
Was March of
started
2020
4
or
years ago last week.
okay. So the last time the world was pre-COVID normal, because I can't say the world was normal, because the world has been normal probably since fucking, I don't know, the 90s.
Yeah.
Um, but pre-COVID normal was about 2018. For me, living down where I live, it's easier for me to live that 2018 life because of the smaller population, because of the greater open area and shit. Being in Chicago suburbs, being the fact that your front door is 15 feet from the next person's front door and shit, I could get where there could be that struggle still, where it's like, if I walk into a store, there's at least 30 people, regardless of what the store is. There's at least 30 other people in one area, where I can walk into my grocery store, and depending on the time of day, there may be like seven other fucking people in there because no one else wants to go shopping at 7:30 at night, on a
Right.
Tuesday or whatever. um, but you can't avoid what COVID was and what COVID did to the world. It's like I said,
Hmm.
you could try your best, but you can't have people who are supposed to be influencers of the world go on fucking social media, go in front of cameras and say, "Hey, you know what? Let's call it a mulligan and just go back. Like, just
Yeah, let's just go
fucking
back
go
to
back."
normal.
You just can't. You absolutely cannot. And there are people who believe you can, and there are people who believe you can't, and those people will never agree on how shit is moving forward. I'm okay with attempting the idea of going back to normalcy and everything, but I'm never going to be able to pretend that COVID didn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
That there was a 10-month period of my life where finding a job was hard because of a pandemic and putting me in a financial struggle that I'm still trying to figure out how to overcome today in
Well,
2024. Even having a
yeah.
good fucking job that pays me really fucking good is still a struggle because of the 10 months I was out of work because of a pandemic that was 2.5 years and counting, because it's still, and it's a residual effect of what happened still happening today. And
Yep.
you can't tell me that this shit's over, because it's not. We did months of podcasts on this stuff. Like we didn't deep dive into like, the actual shit, but we talked about the residual effects of it on us as a society, about how jacked up everything is and how everything is fucked up. And you get and it's the same fucking people now who are telling you like, hey, COVID's done, it's over, go out and have fun. Who 3 years ago told you to stay put, don't move, don't go out, don't be around people. It's like, I don't find it well with you guys having your opinions, but don't change your views based on what you want people to fucking like you for. It's like, fuck no.
Yeah,
It's like,
I mean, changing it based on like data or whatever.
yeah. If you were
Yeah,
to
well, and
sit
that's
there,
why like so we had a baby shower in the family a few weeks ago,
yeah,
and
how was it,
when
by the
when we
way?
showed up, my wife was wearing her N95.
Yeah.
And I just forgot to bring a mask with me. I just straight up didn't think about it because like the way that I calculated it in my head is, it's a family event. It's a person who's going to be going into a hospital to give birth to a child that's going to be born with no immune system because that's how babies are born. Surely no one is going to show up sick, so I'm not going to bring a mask.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, who works in healthcare, she brings her mask and she wears it because she wasn't sure if we were going to be inside the house or outside or where we were, and she eventually took it off because we're in a giant warehouse that's, theoretically there's enough fresh air moving around in there that it's not like a stagnant thing where if somebody's sick you're going to catch it. Theoretically it's like walking around a store or being outside almost. So she took it off. And then I had some people ask me afterwards, like, why'd you take her mask off? Like, how'd you get her to do that? I'm like, I didn't. And she figures these things out for herself, and that's cool,
Yeah, it's
Um,
it's it's a comfort level for people, and you gotta allow them to dictate what they're comfortable with. It's
right.
it's it's
Well, and
it's
like the thing is, to me, what drives me crazy, I have a person in my congregation who is in healthcare, who's not my wife, who is always talking about like, well, you still got to live your life. Why would you wear a mask? You still have to live life. And I'm like, the only thing I can't do with a mask on is put stuff in my mouth. Like
yeah.
if I'm wearing my mask, I can do anything that anybody else can do. And I feel a lot safer and protected.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things that has changed with the science as more data has come in. We found out that especially if you're wearing an N95, it protects you just as much as it protects other people from you. Originally when we got into it, it was like you wear a mask to protect other people because we thought that it only worked one way, but it actually works
Mhm.
both ways. And we found that out, and it's the reason that like, if you're in like woodworking or insulation, you wear an N95 because it
Yeah.
stops particles from coming into your mouth and lungs.
Mhm.
Same thing for sickness, for illness, for viruses and bacteria. Um, yeah. So anyway, it's one of the things that drives me nuts is people who are like, well, you got to live your life still. And I'm like, I am living my life. I just have a thing on my face,
Yeah. I'm
and I've spent a lot of money trying to find a comfortable mask that I can wear that doesn't give me a panic attack. Like,
yeah.
I'm
And you
fine. Leave me alone.
and you left it at a cemetery in Southern Illinois. Mm.
I know. And then I bought another one.
I
Um,
I can respect people's opinions, and I can respect what they believe is true. But people like that lose me the moment they try to tell me how to live my life. Like if I could go through life, if I go through my day and I see people doing whatever the fuck they're doing, wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, their dog shitting in someone's yard and them walking away from it. If it doesn't affect me, I don't get involved because it's not my business. It's not my concern. Like I don't care. I want people to live their life the way they choose to live it.
yeah.
And as long
Here's
as
here's the problem with the logic that you're going with right now.
Mhm.
If you're sick and you are not wearing a mask and you breathe near me and I breathe it in, it fucking affects me.
Yeah, that's what I
So
just said.
I do have a right, if I'm wearing a mask and you're not wearing a mask and you're sick, I have a right to fucking tell you to mask up or get the fuck away from me because it does affect my fucking life, you cocksucker.
Yeah, we're saying the same thing. I just
Sorry,
said that. I said if
sorry,
it's
that
not
was real aggressive.
as long as it doesn't. I know. I don't know why you're yelling at me for. I just said if it doesn't affect me, I don't care. If it
Right.
doesn't affect me,
No,
like
that's my issue.
yeah,
Is there are some people who are listening right now who I assume think that like if someone over there is wearing a mask, that doesn't affect me. I should leave them alone. But they have an issue with the person wearing a mask telling you to wear one because it affects them when you're not.
say it one more time. Hold on, I lost you.
So your issue is you started with you don't want someone who's wearing a mask to tell you to mask up
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
because it affects your life to be told to wear a mask,
Okay.
right? That bothers you.
So my thing is like, no, I guess just in general, I don't need people to tell me how to live my life, but I'm saying like I wish my feelings were other people's feelings. So like with you, if it doesn't affect you, it shouldn't bother you what other people are doing. But if
Right.
somebody is if you're in a social environment where you believe that you're going to be comfortable and somebody is in the back corner fucking hacking up and coughing up and blah 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 and he says, yeah, I'm coming down with something, I'm not quite sure what it is. If that affects you, then yeah, you have every right to say, hey man, if you're not feeling well, you shouldn't fucking be here. You shouldn't be here.
Right.
But if I'm at home and you call me up and say, dude, there's a guy over here fucking coughing out, it looks like he has the fucking flu, he looks like he has contagion, you have the right to be bothered by it because that's directly affecting you. Me, I'm somewhere completely different. It's not affecting me. So I could say like, yeah, he probably should go home, but I'm not gonna be like, put me on the fucking phone with the guy. Let me say some shit because me not being there doesn't directly affect that dude in any way, and me not being there isn't affected by that dude at all. It's the surrounding fucking people.
I see
Um,
what you're saying.
yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm not saying like, like, oh, you want to tell me to mask up because you're scared. Fuck you, dude. Like, no, not like that. It's like I just don't want people telling me like, well, regardless of what people are doing, you should do this. It's like I will do what I want to do. And if somebody comes up to you and say, hey, listen, we like to have people masked up here. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine, but you can't be here. I understand. If I want to stay, I'll put a mask on. If I don't, I'll fucking go home.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm okay living my life the way I want to live it. I just don't need people to dictate. And it's not even just the mask thing. It's everything. Financially, fucking dieting, fucking going to gyms, like what I should do as far as like educate, whatever the fuck it is. Like just mask is the thing we're talking about right now. But it's like if what I'm doing financially, diet wise, exercise wise, fucking, whatever. Like if I drive the speed limit instead of going 10 miles an hour and that pisses you off, then fucking drive around me.
Yeah.
It's just
And
like,
I do want to be clear. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the person
gotcha.
who like would
No,
have
I
a
got you.
problem putting a mask on if they're hacking up a lung and they don't want to
Yeah.
leave and whatever else. It's just like, we live in a society.
Hmm.
Be
Yeah.
part of it or don't. But if you're not going to be part of it, then fucking leave.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with, if you get invited to a wedding, a baby shower, a major birthday and shit like that, and you're invited and everyone's like, oh yeah, the whole family's gonna be there. You gotta be there, you gotta come. And you wake up that morning and you sound like I do, you just fucking text me, hey, I'd love to fucking be there, but I
Yeah.
just don't feel well. And I know fucking Nana's gonna be there. And in her advanced age, who knows what her immune system is like. And, there's gonna be babies there. It's like, I'm just not, as much as I love to fucking be there, I just can't be there. And, it's
Nope.
okay to say that. And if people sit there and say, well, they're just afraid to be here because, this, that, and the other thing, it's like, fuck yourselves. It's like, don't
Right.
sit there and belittle somebody's integrity because they're making a choice to say, I don't know if I don't know what's going on with me,
There it
but it
is.
just does not feel right. It was the same thing with what the hell was it? Something was happening over the weekend I was invited to. And I forgot who the hell it was. I think it might have been my friend Michelle. I don't know. I texted her like, listen, I don't know if I have allergies or if I have bronchitis or whatever the fuck it is. I'm just not feeling well. I'm not fucking going out because I don't want to make other people, even if it was fucking allergies, I don't want to make the people at the next table to me uncomfortable because they see some fucking dude over here sneezing and fucking
Yeah.
sniffling the entire time. Even if it is allergies, they don't know that, and I don't want to ruin their time as if in their concept of everything is this dude's fucking sick and now he's fucking sneezing and coughing over fucking everything. I'm gonna grab a
Oh, it drives me
glass,
nuts.
give to somebody else. They're gonna grab that glass. They're gonna it's like no, I'm just gonna see it. Same thing with fucking I didn't go to work on Monday. Even though I
Yeah.
woke up and I felt a little bit better, I shot a text to fucking, my boss and said, hey, listen, I'm starting to feel better, but I'm still coughing ridiculously as much. And the coughing's not bad because the coughing's kind of breaking the shit up. It's like,
Right. Yeah,
but
that's what it's for.
yeah, but I'm coughing. The breathing's still a little bit difficult, so I'm just going to stay home and I'm just going to rest up because I know if I go to work and sit at my desk and every 20 minutes somebody's gonna be like, is he fucking sick? Technically,
Mhm.
yes, but it's not contagious. But they don't fucking know that. They just see some
Right.
dude coughing all over the place. It's like
Yep.
it's a better judgment thing where people just like listen. Let people live the life the way they want to live it. If I walk through a
Yeah.
grocery store and somebody's wearing a fucking mask,
That's
they don't bother me. I don't bother them. Then why can't we just move on? Don't come to me and say like, "Can you believe they're wearing a fucking mask?" Yeah, I know. I see it. I believe it. Like it's not Santa to me, folks.
right.
But they're not bothering me. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Well, that's
fine.
what there was one time recently I risked it. I went into the Jewel with no mask on,
Mm,
and as I'm walking down an aisle, actually I think it was by the produce, some lady fucking sneezes all over the
mhm.
like tomatoes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Why
Mhm.
are you in the store with no mask on sneezing on the tomatoes?
Yeah.
God damn it. Yeah, it just kills me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just kills me.
Yeah. Yeah. People need to.
Yeah.
People
And
just
that's
need to
that's
do
the other
better.
thing from like the pandemic, like there are things about our society that should have changed forever
Mhm.
in good ways. Like having guaranteed sick time and being able to stay home until you're fully better.
Yeah.
Like changing the corporate environment so that people could do that and not be penalized or lose their jobs or
Mhm.
whatever else. Like even without passing laws about it. Like we shouldn't have to pass laws to make corporations treat people like human beings.
Yeah.
And just like I don't know, if I were running a company, that would be my policy. I'd be like, I don't want to get sick. I don't want you to be sick. If
Mhm.
you're even a little bit sick, stay home until you're better and then come back to
Yeah.
work and we'll figure it out. If you start feeling a lot better and you feel like you can work from home, man. And then, but then there's this whole movement of like corporate landlords who, they own all the offices and stuff. And so there's this
Mhm.
huge push to stop work from home from existing anymore. And it's just like, it's just dumb. People are spending so much money driving to and from work when they could just be working from home because they don't have to be face to face.
Yeah.
They
Look at
don't even interact with anybody in the office.
yeah. Look at Colin's company he used to work at. When the
Yeah.
pandemic happened, everyone worked from home because they were capable of doing it. And then they realized why fucking lease an office when people could just work from their house?
Right.
It makes sense. It's like, yeah, if you could work from home, I'd 100% do it. Now, the only thing I did not like about the time off thing with the pandemic, which first off, I love the fact that people are able to say, "Hey, I got COVID. Okay, cool. So for the next, what was it, like 10 days, whatever the hell it
Yeah. It
is,
was, yeah.
quarantine? Yeah, it's like I agree with that 100%. My problem was people who lied about having COVID just to be off work. Because there was a time where it's like, hey, listen, if you take off and you're sick, you're going to be paid for it. Even if a company only gives you like 10 days or whatever it is, like you get 10 sick days
Yeah.
a year or 5 sick days a year, you have to utilize those. But after that, if you call off and you have to quarantine for a week, you can file for unemployment for like that week or whatever the hell it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem was like
Yeah. I think, you have to be able to send a test in from a
that's
doctor or
well, see,
something,
and that's the thing
that's
too.
how
It's
it
like
should be.
it's like there was a moment there was this weird gap in between the if you get sick, you need to go to the doctor, get a COVID test, confirm you have COVID. Between that time and the time where it was, I think I have COVID. Okay, we'll take an at home test and see if it's positive tomorrow as well. And the moment it's not positive, doesn't matter how many days. As soon as it's negative, you go back to work. But there was
Right.
that weird gap in between where there's still like, okay, well, you still get unemployment, you still get time off, but you don't have to prove it. There was that weird gap where people are just like, man, I don't want to fucking go to work today. Call up like, yeah, I'm not feeling well. It could be a cold. It could be COVID. I just don't want to take the chance. And 2-3 days later, whatever, you call them, like, hey, just wondering, it's been 3 days. Because a lot of companies, especially ones I've worked for, if you're off 3 or more days, you have to go get a doctor's note.
Right.
Because you have to verify what you have. But after the 3-day mark, you'll call them. I was like, hey, man, just wondering if you're coming back into work today. It's been, a couple days. Like, oh, yeah, no, dude, I'm fine. Must have just been the fucking flu. It's like, I hate fucking people who use COVID as an excuse to fucking take off work. It's something so fucking simple just to brush off. Like, oh, yeah, no, it could be and that's the problem, too. COVID had every symptom of every fucking common illness in the fucking world. So you really
it's
don't
even
know.
as it's been mutating. It's even worse now. Like now it starts with a sore throat. It's not even flu-like anymore.
Yeah, so you can sit there and you can tell like, it's like, oh, like, it could be a sore throat, it could be a cold, it could be a flu, it could be allergies, or it could be fucking COVID. And people, the wrong people, the worst people in the fucking world know that and utilize that to their advantage to get time off work. It's like, if you truly have COVID, go to the fucking doctor, get the fucking meds or whatever fucking you could use. Obviously the shot's not going to help you if you have it. It's only going to help you from
Right. It
having it
only
the
helps you
next
if you
time.
don't have it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the doctor, get your fluids, get whatever you need to get done, whatever, quarantine, rest up, fluids, whatever, get better. But don't use it as an excuse because you want to have an extra 2 days off from your day off. Like it's just a shitty fun, because not only are you using a very serious condition for a couple of days off, but now you're putting the rest of the company in a situation where they have to pull your slack. And when it comes to, because the inspectors do it a lot, not at the company I work at now,
Mm-hmm.
company I used to work at. Oh, I got COVID. I can't come in. 2 days later, I know. Sorry, dude. It was just a flu. But for those 2 days,
Well,
somebody
you
had to
shouldn't be
work
coming in
for.
with the flu either. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Is like, if it's COVID, you're out for a week. If it's just the flu, you're back when you're better. That's their
Right.
whole thing. But the thing is, I never believe it was really even the flu either. They just said it was the flu because the flu goes away after like maybe 36, 48 hours if you medicate properly with cough syrup and whatever the fuck you need and soup and all that shit. It's fucking, it's lies. Like, it's like, don't, like, if you just want the time off, schedule your fucking personal days. Be a fucking person. Be a contributor to the workforce and say, listen, I just need a couple of days off to rest up. Because when you sit there and you call off last minute, if I call you up to go do a job and then you tell me on the phone while I'm calling you to do a job, oh, dude, yeah, I'm not feeling well. I'm like, how long have you not felt well? Like, literally,
Right.
when you
Yeah.
pick up
Give
this
me
phone, like, you
a
don't
couple
feel
hours
well?
heads up. At
Yeah.
least.
It's like, come on, dude. It's like, now you got to call somebody else who was just out for 14 hours, who've been home for 3.5 and say, dude, I'm sorry. So-and-so just told me they're sick. I need you to go do this instead.
That's a whole other thing too, that like we had the opportunity to make a change and we just didn't. Is like, we could hire more people. You could have had more people working for you so that you didn't have to call the guy who just got off of a 14-hour shift and has only been home for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, especially with that company, I know their whole thing was like, we got to keep as few people as possible so that we can make as much money as possible. And it's just like, how much is enough? Why is it like this? And then we're continuing that now with like, you look at inflation and, more than half of it, inflation is explained by corporate, I don't want to say corporate greed, but that's what it is. But, people assume there's inflation so the corporation can get away with raising the prices.
Yeah.
You know?
So the thing you mentioned about hiring more people. Surprisingly, you would think that'd be a very easy thing to do.
You'd think.
So my company, the company I'm at now, for example, which granted, this company is a lot better than the other company I worked for. It just is my personal opinion. Don't come at me, other company, just because you suck. So we had somebody who put in a week's notice and left this past Tuesday, and there's another person who put their 3-week notice in or whatever. They're basically gone by the beginning of April, so we're going to be down about 2 people. We had the approval to hire 4 people, which I'm just like fantastic, because we're getting into the spring season where gas is going to go from winter grade to summer grade, and there's going to be a lot of sampling and shit that we got to do. We set up 5 interviews 3 on Thursday, 1 this coming Monday, and 1 the following Monday. And we actually had a female apply, which we don't really get a lot of women who apply to be an inspector, but we had a fucking female apply. It's like, awesome, come in. So Thursday we had an interview. We had a girl scheduled for 10 a.m. We had one guy scheduled for 1 p.m. and another guy scheduled for 2 p.m. 10 p.m. did not show up. 1 p.m. did not show up.
Jeez.
2 p.m. did. Awesome. Who knows if Monday will show up, and who knows if following Monday, we'll see when that happens. But what I have noticed since being involved, and I was involved in interviews and stuff at the other company, but I was more involved in somebody else set it up. Like somebody at like the corporate office set up the interviews, sent the information to us, and then we did them. Here, everything's like an in-house call and set up and everything. I've probably set up maybe 3 dozen interviews since I've been there in a year and a half. Man, maybe 2 dozen, maybe about 24, 25 interviews. Maybe half of the people show up. And half of those people who show up, they show up late without any like excuse. You would think like, I want to make a good first impression, especially when punctuality is important. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just goofy because like it's like like it's been rough out here for people to find jobs. Now, obviously the job market, they say the job market is growing. I'm sure it is in its own way. But it's like when I call you on the phone and I explain to you exactly what the job is, and I ask them all the time, are you still interested after I just told you what this is? Because it is a very demanding job. Oh yeah, no, that sounds great. That sounds awesome. Cool. When do you want to come in? Oh, when can you have it? Can you be here tomorrow at 10 a.m.? Yeah, sure. That's no problem. Awesome. Is this your cell number I called you on? Yeah, cool. I'm going to text you the address. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Great. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Send the text. Say, hey, see, here's the address. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Does that ask for Travis? Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. No problem. It doesn't show up.
That's wild.
It's like now if it was one fucking person, hey, it is what it is. But it's like it's literally about 60 to 70% of the people that I set up interviews for, and they just don't show up. And I was like, I don't understand why. It's like, if you don't like the job, then just tell me you don't like the job.
Just say you don't like it. You don't have to like it.
Yeah, don't make me sit here and think that somebody's going to show up, because when I'm calling 6 people at a time to set up interviews, I can set somebody else for 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Right.
If you don't want to fucking be here, it's insane. So it's
you just said you don't understand. I was just saying, what do you think is it? What do you think it is? Do you think they got other jobs lined up? Do you think they just don't like it? They're trying to be polite and get off the phone so they can ghost you?
I think if anything, I think it's more about being polite. I think because I think a lot of the people that we do this with are younger people, like mid-20s. I noticed it too, like between 20. Let's see, I think the youngest person I called might have been 20. So between 20 and like 25, 26, that group, they're the ones who don't show up. If I schedule a guy our age or even older into their 40s, they show up. They show up with resumes. They show up nicely dressed. They show up. Other guys who are close to our age, maybe a little bit younger than us, they will show up, ready to go. It's the younger generation that I believe, again, just my opinion, for anyone out there disagrees, please let me know, don't like confrontation. And I think in their mind, if they just ignore the problem, it will just go away, instead of, because I don't think in their mind they understand. If they tell me, it's like, hey, listen, that sounds a lot more than I was expecting. It just doesn't seem like it would be a good fit for me. I appreciate the call, though. I'm like, hey, you know what? No problem. This job isn't for everybody. Thanks. Have a good day, and we can move on. Because this job isn't for everybody. This job isn't for me. Like, I shouldn't have been able to do this job, but I needed a fucking paycheck.
Right.
So it's like guys who are heavy and overweight definitely have difficulty doing this job, because you are climbing 60-foot fucking short tanks consistently, going upstairs and everything. Now imagine being an overweight, bronchitis, smoking fucking dude trying to do this job. It's rough. People who can't seem to fucking see at night, it's difficult. It's a hard fucking job. So no, it's not for everybody. And if people would just say, hey, listen, no, that's not really the job I thought it was going to be, but thanks. Hey, man, no problem. You have a good day. Hang up and move on from the next person. But younger kids don't want to deal with confrontation. They don't want to deal with problems head on. They could just, like you said, the concept of ghosting is a fucking thing in this world now. But it's people who are like 27 and under. They
Yeah.
don't want to deal with their
Interesting.
fucking problems. And it's just like it's dumb. I get it, but it's dumb. And it's like, and I sit here and I look at these guys' resumes, and some of them are like, some go to college, some don't go to college. The college kids, I assume, like, well, yeah, that's not really the job I went to school for. It's like, well, first off, you applied for it.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
tell me that this wasn't the job that you went to school for. If you read the description and applied for it, like what the I had
Yeah.
one guy.
There shouldn't be any big surprises here.
Yeah, no, I had one guy who called who applied, and he went to school for it's like business administration or whatever the hell it was. And I called him up and I described what the
Oh,
job
you
was.
dodged a bullet.
Yeah, because when after I described to him what the job was, he's like, "Oh, I thought this was more of like an in office job." I'm like, "Which part? The part in the description that says traveling, the part that
Right.
says climbing short tanks, climbing, gauging barges, pulling samples, working in refineries, working in terminals, being on call 20. Like, what part of that says office work?"
Right. Yeah.
I didn't say that because, again, I want to be respectful in a work environment. What I said was, "Oh, absolutely not, sir. This is a field job."
I'm
It's like,
sorry that wasn't clear in the job description.
yeah, yeah.
But
It's like we should update it at the top. It says not office work, but it's just like it's like, man, like if this was 2020, I do believe that I could probably hire a lot more people a lot more faster. It's just I don't understand like how people like. It's like if you're out there really applying, like, and you know what? Honestly, there's one thing I do understand too, and I know I was guilty of it for a period. When you have unemployment, you have to show proof that you applied to places. You have to
mm,
show proof that you are like going to interviews and stuff. And there was a period
mhm.
of time where it's like I was making good money at the other company. They let me go. I went on unemployment, and unemployment did not pay enough for me to survive. It didn't even come close to being
Yeah.
what I need to get by for a month. It was half of what I take home in a month. It's ridiculous. Unemployment is a fucking joke. Like, I get it that it's only supposed to help you get by, but cost of everything nowadays, it doesn't. When you sit there and you go to unemployment and they cap you out at $1,800 a month, but your mortgage is $1,200 to $1,400 and you got to worry about utilities and food and all this other shit, it doesn't fucking work. It just doesn't. They need to fix the unemployment situation and figure that
Yeah.
out. Um, but you have to prove that you're trying to find a job. So that's why, like, I applied for every fucking job I could, and even the jobs that say like $12, $13 an hour, I knew I couldn't financially get over it. But the difference between me and what these guys are doing is, if the company calls me and talks to me about the job on the phone, blah, 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 they ask me if I have any questions. I said, yeah, I'm just wondering what the pay is. And they're like, oh, well, the pay starts at this and this. I'm like, oh, okay. And is that something that, could work for you, work for you? I'm like, honestly, this is what I'm looking for. It's like, oh, yeah, no, we can't meet that. I'm like, I understand that, but yeah, it's like this is what I'm looking for now. If you go for overtime, or I can get time and a half over 40, blah blah, maybe, and like, yeah, we don't really have that, blah blah. I'm like, okay, I understand that and I appreciate that. This just doesn't seem like maybe a job that'll be right for me.
Yep.
That's how I go about it. So I can record that, submit it to unemployment. Everything's kosher. These guys, I think some might be doing the same thing, but they're doing it the wrong fucking way. It's like, you could
Yep.
just tell me, even be honest with me on the phone. Hey, bro, to be honest with you, I just applied because I need to prove unemployment. I'm like, sure, no problem. You want me to send you a text, say we got the interview?
Right.
I'll send you a text 2 days later saying, hey, appreciate you coming in. Unfortunately, we got to move forward with something else. I will help you out if it means you're not wasting my fucking time. It's like, fucking hey, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know where that was leading to. Oh, it's
Either.
because you overwork stuff. So yeah, so
Oh yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So hopefully we do get the people hired on this coming April and May and everything. But for any of you who want to actually work, who want to put forth some blue collar work in the world, reach out to us and I'll send you the link to my company on where you can apply. It's in Illinois, so you gotta be in Illinois. That will help you out if you live in India or Germany that we are getting viewers from and stuff like that. So I can't help you out there. So, um, yeah, Joe, you won the Oscars predictions, man.
I can't believe it. That's shocking to me.
I don't know what it is because I left the papers downstairs, but yeah, I think you got 4 or 5 more than I did or some shit like that. I know I did not do well at all. I know for like the first, I think like nine categories that they did, we only had like one right. And then like you went on like a streak of like, oh, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I do love the fact that on the Oscars, Kimmel actually mentioned the fact that Margot Robbie should have been nominated for Actress of the Year. He didn't say when nominated, which I agree should have. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, he did not do that. He should have done that. He mentioned that the director of Barbie should have been nominated for Director of the Year.
That's right.
Didn't,
Yeah, Gerwig.
yeah, yeah. He did mention that, and that I did agree with. I thought that was pretty cool and everything.
No one
Yeah,
has to win. Just nominate them. It's an honor to be nominated.
exactly. She should have been nominated. And you know what? There was one political joke, and I was happy with that. There was one political joke. It was funny, and I'm just glad that they didn't make the entire Oscars based on the upcoming elections and stuff because it gives you a break from all that stuff. It's like I want to
Oh
hear.
my God.
Yeah, I
I
want to see
don't
John
even want to
Cena
talk
fucking
about
run
it.
president. Why? Because it's just 2020 all over again.
Yes, that's 100% why. I'm so
Yeah.
sick of it.
Well, I'm gonna make the same joke I made last time. Who are you gonna vote for, Joe? The old white guy or the old white guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
So nutty. It's dude. It'll be. I did. And I honestly, I completely spaced on it, and I think a lot of it has to do with just me being sick and not thinking straight and shit. I forgot to go vote fucking Tuesday.
Nope.
Did you do it?
I did. Well, I did. I voted by mail, and I put it
Gotcha.
in on Tuesday.
You know,
like 10 minutes before the cutoff to get your mail in the mail.
the mail-in ballot thing weirds me out.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it. I do. The thing that alarms me was I got my mail-in ballot at my house.
Yeah.
And shit because I'm registered at my home in my town where I fucking vote right down the road from me. Convenient as fuck. But I also get a call from my dad saying that he got my ballot in the mail at his house. And I haven't been a resident of his house in 15 years.
That's wild.
So I was wondering to me, I'm like, am I getting a ballot mailed to every residence that I've lived in my entire life? Now, one wasn't sent to my mom's house. And I know I was registered to vote from my mom's from 18 when I registered to 20. When did I? No, I'm sorry, 2007 when I registered to 2013 when I moved out.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't get a ballot there unless I, somebody saw one and threw it away because I don't live there anymore. But according to my mom and Carl, one wasn't there, and I haven't gotten anything from my apartment. But it's just like I keep getting the card. My dad keeps getting the card to his house for me to re-register, but I don't need to because I'm registered here.
Right.
So I don't know if like what if somebody like let's say whoever lives in my apartment, gets my mail in ballot and they just fill it out and they just send it in. I don't think people would. I don't think a lot of people would, but maybe people will. Like if somebody's so gung ho about an election going one way or another, like what's stopping them from filling it out, sending it in? And now, like, does it come back at me? It's like, hey, we just see that Travis Stewart. I mean, who knows? They look at the names, but it's like we see that this person just sent in 2 ballots and they're completely fucking different. It's like that's what weirds me out about it. Like, I don't think there's like a check and balances for it. It's like,
yeah, they do check and make sure that you only submitted one ballot.
how do they do that though? Is there a code on those things?
Well, I actually don't know. There is a code because if you need a new one, they'll send you another one, and it has a different number on it.
But it's like if I mail my ballot from Peatone, and somebody mails my copy ballot from Pontiac, I'm assuming they're not going to the same place. But how do they know that it's
a great question?
Like that's what alarms me about it.
This is the first time I've ever heard of it being in 2 different locations like that. But I assume that it's tied to your name and like social security number somehow.
Yeah, and that's what
I
I
do
thought.
know one of them is like, so when you register to vote, you have to put in a signature,
Mhm.
and the signature on your mail-in ballot has to match the signature you put in when you voted, when you registered to vote.
Yeah, but I
So
hope
that's a big part of the check, but
I hope that, like I said, I don't believe anyone's out there putting in a second ballot under my name. Like I said, it's only one of four places it should go to, and my dad throws mine away out by his house. It doesn't seem like I'm getting one over at Mom and Carl's house, and I haven't heard anything from fucking Schroeder Avenue.
yeah.
So
I also
I'm,
don't know. So like when I sent mine in,
mhm.
about 3 days later, I got an email saying, "Hey, we got your ballot."
Oh, that's pretty cool. See, I didn't
Yeah,
get that when I did the mail-in ballot, but maybe they didn't do it that time.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, when I mail-in ballot, 2016. In 2016. So who knows? Maybe
Yeah,
they
this is
went
the first
past.
time I've ever voted in a primary by mail-in. So this is like totally
Yeah,
new to me.
yeah. I just I completely forgot about it. But the way everything's looking didn't look like my vote was going to change anything anyway. So
Yeah,
I
that's
know
kind of how
there.
I felt. I was like, I don't really want to.
Yeah, I know there's
Like
some.
90% of the people on my ballot were running unopposed,
Mhm,
which like to me, so like my representative Jan Schakowsky,
yeah,
I think she's great. I think she does a good job. I like and agree with most of the stuff that she does. Every time there's some like big controversy that's happening, and I think, gosh, I wish my representative was like on the right side of this. She sends an email, like I don't even have to say anything to her directly. I'll get an email that's like, "Hey, by the way, Jan Schakowsky supported XYZ," and I'm like, "Heck yeah!" I didn't even have to talk to her about it.
yeah,
So I like her a lot. She ran unopposed. I think that's like, it's not a crime, but it should be. Like you should not
mhm,
be able to run unopposed in a primary. Drives me
yeah.
crazy. Like someone should at least run against you to make you say that you believe something. You know?
I think people get complacent that way.
Yeah. That's my big problem right now with the presidential contest. Biden sewed up the delegate count he needed for the nomination like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm,
So the contest is over. He doesn't have to do or
yeah,
say anything. And like it's not all that different from the Republican Party in 2020. The Democratic Party doesn't have a platform. And they don't need one because the person they're putting forth doesn't have to have one because he's already the heir apparent to himself,
mhm, yeah,
which I hate, you know.
yeah.
Never mind my problems with Biden. But
It's definitely gonna be an interesting next. Oh, what the fuck is it? 7 months,
yeah,
give or
that's
take.
the other thing. Like, other countries, they limit their election season to 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Me too.
Right?
It's how it should be.
But the thing is, like, I mean, from everything I hear, and who knows, maybe it'll be different, maybe it'll change or whatever. Like, they're not gonna do a Biden Trump because Trump's gonna win the fucking primary. He's gonna fucking go on.
Right.
Um, they're not gonna do debates.
Yeah.
They're not gonna debate each other. So
That's
so you're just gonna spend the next 7 months like campaigning and just hoping for the best. Like who you have to vote for you is not going to change between now and then. Like everyone has already made up their mind who they fucking want.
pretty
You know,
much.
unless God forbid somebody dies. You could do the election right now, and I guarantee, from my belief, it's not going to be any different than what November is going to come around and do,
Pretty much.
especially if they're not going to debate. I
Yep.
don't know if the VPs are going to debate. Obviously, I'm guessing Biden's going to stay with Kamala. I'm guessing
Yeah,
that's not going to
she's
change.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's not changing.
And I don't know if Trump ever picked who his VP would be if he wins again. So I don't know if they're going to do VP debates, but I definitely heard that Biden will not debate Trump in this campaign, which whatever. I mean, the whole
Yeah, I
debates turn
don't
into a bickering pissy fit all the fucking time,
right. It's
anyways.
just yeah, it's going to be well, have you seen that Shane Gillen bit about it
I'd see
where
it, it's a
like
possibility, but
yeah, where he jokes about like the sort of like go-to for Trump is to just insult and then like attack and then say something.
Yeah.
And it's super effective because it totally breaks all of the rules of our debate system and like short circuits the audience to just like him for that, right?
Yeah.
But the reason it doesn't work on Biden is because he's just like, I didn't understand a word you just said. Here's what I think. Like he's just completely unrattled. And
Well,
so it's like two freaking old dudes with dementia just yelling garbage at each other for an hour and a half. I'm not sure is going to convince anybody anything, except that like it's like a look in the mirror, like, what are we doing? And why are we doing it this way?
Yeah, it's going to be. I think what it's going to come down to, if anything affects the election from between now and then, is when they're on the campaign, when they're doing their campaign runs and all this stuff, is. And I pray to God, but I know it's not going to happen. And we saw it happen a lot when we ran through the mayor debates here for Chicago. Is they would get asked a question, and instead of answering the question right away, they just point at somebody else and say, well, they weren't willing to do this, but this is what I want to do. We've seen it happen. I have no doubt that's going to happen in the campaigns. I'm sure Trump will get up on stage and talk about how decrepit and how decrepit Biden is, and how he lost sight of what's important. And Biden is going to point at Trump and point fingers at all these court cases, and how he's a bully, and I understand that that's the mentality of what became the norm in campaigns and shit. But they need to focus on what they're going to do to make the country better. Trump doesn't need to talk about 2016 to 2020. That shit's over. And Biden cannot sit there and say what we're doing right now is working, because it's not. You need to tell me what's going to happen in 2026. Tell me how we're going to get to 2026 and that being the best year in this country since 1776. Because we have not had a good year, as we said, since the 90s. Ever since 9/11 happened, things have been like uncomfortable and
same thing the other
uneasy.
day.
Yeah. It has been this country has been uncomfortable and uneasy and unrest in so many fucking ways. And like, even when people think like, hey, we're in a good place, it's a very brief fucking moment, and then something else fucking happens, and it sucks. And I just want for one point, I don't care who the fuck is in the office, just make life easier for us to live in. Give me a gas price I can fucking afford. Give my property taxes to a sustainable fucking place. Help me not struggle and be sad that I don't want to be afraid to look at my fucking bank account to wonder if there's a little minus sign in front of it. Like, get me to a point where I don't have to worry about that anymore. It's like, that's
I'm full on. If I don't get to the bank today to deposit some cash, I am going to overdraw my account today.
Yeah. And that sucks.
Or tomorrow, I mean.
That's one of my favorite things about election years, is I know that gas prices will be at an all-time low at some point in this fucking summer. Because no matter what, like clockwork, once election time comes around, gas prices fucking drop. And I'm really excited for that moment. Now they're going up now. It's almost $4 down here.
I know, even at Costco, it was $3.75 the other day.
Yeah. So they're probably getting to the point where they can do that. So around like June, July, it'll be like $3.40. But fucking, I'm excited for fucking gas prices to drop and shit, because it does it like clockwork every 4 years. And don't forget, we also got Olympics this year. Fucking leap year just occurred and everything.
Oh my God, I forgot about the Olympics.
Yeah, I think everyone
has.
I wish I fucking knew. Barcelona, I don't know. Georgia. Either the state or the country of Georgia. If I had to guess, hold on.
Oh,
do you know what it is? Don't tell me. But
I do know.
Okay. Let me take a guess. Is it within the United? Let me ask 5 questions. Is it within the United States?
No.
Okay. Is it within Europe?
Yes.
Okay. London?
No.
Damn it. Germany?
No.
Is Germany even? Portugal?
No.
What'd you say?
I said you're getting closer. Now you're getting further away.
I was closer with Germany. Ukraine.
Nope.
God, that'd be an uncomfortable fucking Olympics. I know it's not Russia. They wouldn't put it in fucking Russia.
No.
What's over Belgium?
Nope.
I give up.
Closer again. Paris.
Oh, in France? Wait, how is Germany closer to Paris than England? Is it?
Well, so England is across the channel from France.
Okay.
Germany and France share a border.
Okay, cool. Awesome. France, solid.
Yeah.
When
And
is the
it's cool.
Olympics?
I'm pretty sure the Notre Dame got rebuilt and is having its grand opening this summer. And
Oh,
they're
terrific.
probably all timing that all together.
So they're gonna open up a church that burnt down years ago around the same time where they celebrate some dude running through the streets with a fucking flaming torch.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Solid. Dude,
We're
that's
back.
awesome. And it's and it's Summer Olympics. When does it start? Did it say June? Was it like June or something?
July 26th.
July 26th. We're gonna cover some fucking Olympics this year. We'll do something different. We'll cover some fucking Olympics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm into that. That sounds
Yeah.
really fun, actually. I like the Olympics.
I watch it from here and there. I watch a lot more of the fielding events, discus, shot put, hammer throws, and stuff like that. Swimming, I care very little about. I mean, obviously, Michael Phelps made swimming the most important sport, but basketball. Maybe it's Winter Olympics. I don't know. Yeah, I watch the Olympics from here to there and stuff. It's fun. I like it. I've never actually watched an opening ceremony. I never did that.
Oh, it's cool.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a little self-indulgent, but it's cool.
Joe, I didn't get a chance to ask, but what were you freaking drinking?
Oh, I was drinking Papa Nicholas coffee. It's a local coffee roastery that you can get at Jewel, and it was the 5-star restaurant blend.
Solid. Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm drinking a zero sugar wild cherry Pepsi. I
Nice.
figure it's a good way to kick off a morning, which, by the way, that's probably my favorite zero sugar drink now, next to zero sugar Dr. Pepper.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, on that note, Joe, what are you freaking thinking about?
Oh man, there is this new-ish documentary on HBO or Max, I guess. About about Nickelodeon. It's called Quiet on the Set.
Quiet Onset.
Oh, Quiet on Set. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. Dude, that's my freaking thinking too.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got like halfway through the first episode. I texted the Geekcast guys like, man, this is like childhood ruining stuff.
Yeah. Did you watch the whole series though, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
It's good.
Dude, and I love documentaries. I love watching like documentaries and shit on Max has a lot of cool ones. There was I forgot the name of it, but there was like one about celebrities, who get murdered and shit like that, or bad things that
Nice.
happen to them. Yeah, it's so I was watching that and I was getting through that, and it was part of the like things you might like or whatever, or like things you might be interested in as well, and that came out quite on set, and I was looking at it and I'm saying like, man, I don't want to hear about fucking, the because I didn't know what it was about. I just thought it was them like, documenting like Drake and Josh, on set and everything. And I was like, I'll fuck, whatever, I'll watch. It's my childhood, why the hell not? Oh, fucking horrible. The
So
fact
bad.
that there were two convicted fucking pedophiles and Schneider. I'm just like, dude, and when they sit there and you start looking at like that's the generation we grew up in. That's our
Right?
fucking childhood. And they start connecting all the fucking feet shit and the face shot things. I'm saying like, holy fuck.
Yeah, I had no idea there was so much feet stuff on
Right?
Nickelodeon.
Like the Nickelodeon logo was a fucking foot.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it was for a little while.
I'm just saying like there's just no fucking way. And then like when they started talking about the kid who was, molested and everything. And then when fucking Drake Bell fucking walks out, dude, I was like, holy fuck, like I thought they were
Yeah.
never gonna mention or whatever, and the fact that he fucking walked out, and then the next episode of it where they actually kind of talk about the whole situation, and the girl asks her is like what he did to him, and obviously you can see on his face that he can't get out what was said, like cannot talk about it. And then he just
Yeah.
said to her, "It's like, imagine the worst thing somebody can ever do to a child, that." And obviously they talked about, they mentioned like sodomization and all this other shit. And,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
they mentioned the charges and stuff.
yeah, and I felt so fucking bad for that dude. And then I started realizing like fucking Ariana Grande and the goofy shit that she had to fucking do. And
That was
not,
I'm so glad that I didn't grow up watching Victorious because that was Woof.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and it's like, and obviously, whatever, all the things that happened to the kids, fucking horrible. The fact that the one girl got replaced with Amanda Bynes and everything, and the fucking, I, I mean, the fact what happened to Amanda Bynes later in life is unfortunate, but it's understandable and why everything
Yeah.
fucking because of how she grew up and what she had to live through, and not only that, the women that he fucking worked for him, the writers and all
Yeah.
this shit, and the two girls that he hired, I don't want to give, spoil anything for you guys. Go watch the documentary. But the fact that he hired two women writers and they had to share a fucking salary,
Yeah.
and
That was wild.
he kept making people come over and massage his fucking shoulders and like,
Yeah.
message them like, hey, stand up and yell slut. It's like, and this is Nickelodeon. Like,
Right.
Nick, this is a fucking kids network. And
Yeah.
this is the fucking dude that you think is, because granted, yes, he made a lot of fucking movies or a lot of TV shows, and yeah, in a way, I guess saved Nickelodeon in that time. But is it worth it?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like
Oh,
the Weinstein of
yeah.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Unbelievable.
And I
And
love
then
the,
like the other thing that I want to mention is, and man, I don't want to spoil it, but I can't get over it. The fact that Pickle Boy was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy.
oh, fuck. And yeah, he had the painting,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude.
And I do feel like, if you were pen pals with John Wayne Gacy and he sent you a self-portrait, it'd be weird, but it'd be kind of a cool thing,
Would you hang it up in your house?
Probably.
You'd have to, right?
You'd
Like
have to. Yeah.
it's a morbid fucking thing, but I mean, like, yeah, how could
And
you
I
not?
also would be excited about it. I'd be like, I would want people to discover it and be like, what's with this? And then I could tell
Yeah,
them.
yeah, it
It's
was.
only a red flag after you find out he's also a pedophile.
Yeah, well, and the
You
fact that
know?
because that was Drake Bell's uh
Yeah,
assaulter, right?
abuse.
Yeah, 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 yes. Because yeah, I know there were parts where like he tried to portray the dad on Drake and Josh, and I just
Yeah.
I do and I felt for his father so fucking much
Yeah, his
because
father seems like a cool dude.
the thing is his dad knew. His dad knew, and the whole separation with the one moment where they're talking about the separation between Drake's parents, and Drake deciding that he didn't want his dad being the manager anymore, that his mom was going to do it, and the dad said, "That's fine, just keep him away from that fucking guy."
Right.
And then that became the point where Drake was staying at that guy's house. If you guys have not seen this fucking doc, it's 4 episodes. It's 44 minutes long a piece, 44 minutes each episode. Fucking watch it. My Ashley fucking watched it, and she messaged me right after. My buddy Pac-Man from JFW, he
Yeah, yeah.
watched it and he had his opinion on it. It is a fucking horrifying. If we didn't talk about the COVID that we were going to talk about, that probably would have been our topic today,
Yeah, 100%.
because there's so much of what fucking happened that, oh, dude, it was fucking, yeah. I'm glad I did watch it because it's kind of eye opening. But now that I think about it, it's like I'm kind of glad I don't watch reruns of Nickelodeon, because now if I go back and watch somebody get something shot into their face, the fuck. Here's another thing too. Penelope Tate.
Yeah,
I
Penelope
Yeah,
Taint.
yeah. When I grew up, I thought it was Tate, Tate.
Oh, yeah.
So when they brought her on there and they started mentioning Taint, I'm like, well, that just makes it fucking worse, because I didn't know it was Taint. I thought it was Penelope Tate. And I
Right.
was like, and then the fact that he has to tell them, don't tell Nickelodeon what it is. It's like, you motherfucker, like, you know that this is weird.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know if you've ever watched oh, maybe we should talk about this on the next show.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, talk
Yeah.
about Nickelodeon, 100%.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
in. So, because
Yeah,
I have a lot of thoughts, and we're like pushing an hour and a half.
absolutely, not a problem. Speaking of Nickelodeon, real quick, and then we'll wrap up. Disney. As I mentioned, Fourth Mother Box, now part of Freaknet Studios. Make sure you follow Fourth Mother Box on YouTube. We're happy to have them, and I look forward to potentially even getting another show here alongside them. But Tom, who hosts Fourth Mother Box, huge Disney fan. He lives out in Florida. He goes to Disney probably like once every fucking 30 minutes. Um, old
Awesome.
neighbor, old neighbor Katie
Yeah.
also lives out in Florida and goes to Disney religiously. I'm trying to work it out where I can get both of them on our show, and they're going to sell me on why Disney is worth going to once a week.
Hmm.
because
Nice.
I really want to know. So we'll talk about that too. We'll get that scheduled and let you guys know, because I also want to help Katie promote and grow her YouTube channel, because she vlogs down at the Magical
Oh, I know she had
World
a
of
YouTube
Disney.
channel. That's cool.
She does, yeah. It's Katie Walks. I don't fucking remember. I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good person. I don't even know.
We'll talk about it on the next show. We'll have
We'll talk about, yeah. I'll find it. I'll find it. It's but yeah, no. She has her own vlog where her and her co-host or whoever he is walks around Disney, and they try different things and do cool things. So it's pretty cool. So I want to get them on. I want them to sell me on why the Hall of Presidents isn't the best thing at Disney. I love it. I love history. But before we do all that and everything, just make sure you guys are following us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, just by searching This Freaking Show. You can catch the audio releases of our podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean. Well, not Google Podcasts in I think about 2 weeks. Google Podcasts is going to be gone. It's going to be YouTube now. So follow us wherever you listen to audio. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you rate us if it asks. And also go over to YouTube, FreakNet Studios, where we release the video podcast that we are now doing. You can find that over at FreakNet Studios over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and shit like that. Joe, that's all I got. So, as always, I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.